I, 28F, had spent years working my way up in my field. It wasn't easy, but I had built a solid reputation, someone dependable, hardworking, and damn good at what I did. So when a senior position opened up at my company, everyone, including my boss, told me it was mine. It wasn't even a question. I had the experience, the results, and the backing of the right people. Then Vanessa took an interest. My older sister, Vanessa 32F, had always been the golden child. She had the charm, the confidence, and the ability to spin any situation in her favor. But she struggled to maintain a steady career, often moving between jobs. However, through networking and leveraging personal connections, she had managed to secure positions that looked impressive on paper. It seemed like this was just another opportunity where she could talk her way in. Even if she wasn't truly qualified, I never held it against her. Family is family, and I figured she'd figure things out eventually. A few weeks before my final interview, Vanessa suddenly started asking a lot of questions about my job, what the role required, how the interview process worked, what kind of leadership my boss preferred. At first, I thought she was just making conversation. Then she casually mentioned applying for the same role. She laughed it off like it was some kind of joke, but something about the way she said it made my stomach drop. I should have taken it seriously. The day before my interview, I got called into my boss's office. He looked uncomfortable, like he didn't want to be having the conversation. Apparently, someone had sent an anonymous email to the company with serious concerns about my work. False accusations of unethical behavior, mishandling projects, and mistreating colleagues. Complete nonsense. I was blindsided. Instead of preparing for my interview, I spent the next 24 hours scrambling to defend myself. I had to pull records, emails, and reports to disprove the claims. My boss reassured me he didn't believe the accusations, but HR had to investigate. It delayed everything. Vanessa, seeing the opening, submitted her application. She had the advantage of timing. By the time HR cleared me, they had already advanced her in the hiring process. I later found out that one of the decision makers was an old acquaintance of hers, which gave her just enough leverage to seal the deal. I didn't put the pieces together right away. I was too focused on clearing my name, trying to figure out who would even do this to me. Then a friend from another department let something slip. Vanessa had known about the accusations before they became public. She had been talking about how unfortunate it was that my reputation had suddenly taken a hit. That's when it clicked. I dug deeper. A trusted coworker from HR who had always been supportive of me discreetly shared details about the anonymous email. As soon as I saw the wording, the phrasing, it was unmistakably Vanessa's. She had used things only she would know, twisting them just enough to sound believable. When I confronted her, she played dumb, swore up and down she had nothing to do with it. But when I presented what I had, a close friend in it had confirmed the email came from an IP address linked to Vanessa, her face fell. She admitted it, said she was desperate, and that she had no choice. I debated taking this to HR, but my past experience told me they wouldn't want more internal conflict between siblings, especially since they had already hired her. Apparently, she needed this job more than I did. And our parents? They took her side. It was just a misunderstanding. She made a mistake. You can't hold on to grudges forever. I was furious. I wanted to scream, to burn everything down, but instead, I took a breath. I looked at Vanessa, at my parents, at everyone making excuses for her, and then I smiled. I told them I forgave her. I went to family events, acted like nothing had happened, played the role of the bigger person. Meanwhile, I started watching, listening, gathering everything I could about Vanessa's new job. Because if she thought she had won, she had no idea what was coming next. I wasn't just going to get even. I was going to make sure she felt every single thing she had done to me.